The cafe buzzed with the sounds of clinking cups and murmured conversations. Nathaniel sat at a small table by the window, lost in thought, staring at the steam rising from his untouched coffee. The familiar aroma filled the air, wrapping around him like a warm blanket. Yet, today felt different, heavy with a tension he couldn't shake. Just as he took a deep breath, his heart skipped as he caught sight of a figure through the glass. Emily. His pulse quickened, and he could hardly believe his eyes. It had been years since they last spoke, years since the echo of their laughter faded into silence. She walked in, her presence igniting a storm of emotions he thought he had buried. Memories of their past flooded his mind, moments of joy, love, and, ultimately, heartbreak. "Nat," she said, her voice a mix of surprise and hesitation. "Emily," he replied, forcing a smile that felt foreign. The air between them crackled, thick with unspoken words. How could they stand there, so close yet so far apart? They exchanged awkward pleasantries, each word an attempt to mask the feelings swirling beneath the surface. "How have you been?" she asked, her eyes searching his, perhaps looking for the truth hidden behind his facade. "Busy with work. You know how it is," Nathaniel said, shrugging, though his heart ached to share more. He wanted to ask about her life, about the years that had slipped away, but the fear of reopening old wounds kept him silent. Emily shifted her weight, glancing down at her hands. "Things have changed for me too." As they spoke, Nathaniel's mind raced. What had happened in her life? Did she think about him? Did she feel the same pull, the same unresolved tension? He searched her face for answers, hoping to catch a glimpse of the woman he once loved deeply. "Life moves on, right?" she said softly, a hint of sadness in her voice. "Yeah, it does," he replied, his heart aching with regret. He recalled the dreams they had shared, the family they never built, the future that had slipped away. "I guess we just adapt." A brief silence hung between them, thick with everything they had not said. Nathaniel wanted to reach out, to bridge the gap that had formed, but fear kept him rooted in place. They were both pretending, playing roles in a story that had taken a disastrous turn. "Have you thought about the past?" he ventured, breaking the stillness. Emily looked up, surprise flickering in her eyes. "Sometimes. It's hard not to." Nathaniel nodded, a sense of relief washing over him. They shared this moment of vulnerability, a rare glimpse into each other's souls. But just as quickly as it came, the moment faded, leaving an uncomfortable tension in its wake. "Do you ever wonder what could have been?" Nathaniel asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Emily hesitated, her gaze drifting away. All the time, as the reality of their encounter settled over them, Nathaniel felt a burning question rise within him, a need to know more about her life. What had happened to Emily in the years apart? The thought lingered in his mind, a haunting echo of the past they could not escape. The cafe, once a backdrop of memories, now felt like a stage for their unresolved story. Would they be able to find a way back to each other, or had time truly severed their bond? Nathaniel's heart raced as he pondered the possibilities, knowing that this unexpected encounter could change everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It's simple, quick, and helps us keep bringing you amazing content. As the initial awkwardness began to dissipate, Nathaniel and Emily found themselves lingering over their coffees, the conversation gradually easing into more familiar territory. The cafe's ambient noise served as a comforting backdrop, allowing them to reconnect without the weight of their past pressing down too heavily. Emily took a slow sip of her latte, her eyes briefly meeting Nathaniel's before darting away. There was a hesitation in her demeanor, a subtle indication that she had something important on her mind. Nathaniel noticed the change in her tone and the flicker of unease in her eyes. "Nathaniel, there's something I've been meaning to tell you," Emily began, her voice wavering slightly. She took a deep breath, as if summoning the courage to reveal a long-held secret. "It's about my life over the past few years." Nathaniel leaned forward, his curiosity piqued. "I'd like to hear it," he replied gently, offering her a reassuring smile. Emily paused, gathering her thoughts. "After we parted ways, things didn't turn out the way I had hoped," she admitted. I found out I was pregnant shortly after we stopped talking. Nathaniel's heart skipped a beat, the revelation catching him off guard. You have a daughter? He asked, his voice tinged with surprise and a hint of emotion. Emily nodded, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. Her name is Lily. I wanted to reach out sooner, but I wasn't sure how you would react. I didn't want to complicate things, especially since you were in a relationship with Sarah. The mention of Sarah brought a brief, uncomfortable silence between them. Nathaniel glanced away, memories of his past relationship flickering in his mind. I'm sorry, Emily. I had no idea, he said softly, feeling a surge of regret for the time lost. I understand, Emily replied, her voice steadier now. I've been raising her on my own, and it's been both challenging and rewarding. But there are moments when I wish you could be a part of her life. Nathaniel felt a mix of emotions swirling within him. Guilt for not being there, excitement at the thought of meeting his daughter, and uncertainty about how to navigate this new chapter. I want to meet her, he said firmly, determination settling into his voice. I want to be there for both of you. Emily's expression softened, a glimmer of hope shining through her previously guarded demeanor. That means a lot to me, Nathaniel. Lily is everything to me, and I think she deserves to know her father. They sat in silence for a moment, the significance of Emily's revelation hanging in the air. Nathaniel reached out, gently placing his hand over hers in a gesture of solidarity. We have a lot to catch up on, he acknowledged, but I'm committed to making this work. Emily gave a small, appreciative smile. Thank you. It won't be easy, but I believe we can find a way to co-parent and support each other for Lily's sake. Nathaniel nodded, feeling a sense of purpose he hadn't experienced in years. Let's take it one step at a time, he suggested. We can start by meeting Lily and seeing how she feels about everything. As they continued their conversation, the initial tension gave way to a newfound understanding. They began to discuss the practicalities of introducing Nathaniel into Lily's life, setting up meetings, and establishing a communication plan that respected Lily's needs and boundaries. The sun began to set outside the cafe windows, casting a warm, golden hue over the room. Nathaniel and Emily realized how much they had both changed over the years, yet some connections remained as strong as ever. Their shared history provided a foundation upon which they could build a new relationship, this time with Lily as the central link. As they left the cafe together, the cool evening air felt refreshing, symbolizing the start of a new journey. Nathaniel glanced at Emily, feeling a sense of hope and determination. We have a lot ahead of us, he remarked, but I'm ready to face it with you. Emily nodded, a sense of relief washing over her. Me too, Nathaniel. For Lily's sake and for ourselves, they parted ways with a promise to meet again soon, both aware that their lives were about to intertwine in ways they had never anticipated. As Nathaniel walked away, he couldn't help but feel that this encounter was the beginning of something meaningful, a chance to rebuild, reconnect, and create a future that included not just themselves, but the daughter they both cherished. Emily's mornings were a symphony of chaos and love. The shrill beep of her alarm clock signaled the start of another demanding day. She woke before dawn, her first thoughts already on Lily. The quiet hours before the household stirred were her only moments of peace, where she could gather her strength and prepare herself for the day ahead. In the kitchen, Emily moved with practiced efficiency. She prepared breakfast while simultaneously packing Lily's lunch, her mind racing through the day's tasks. The sound of Lily's soft footsteps echoed down the hallway as she woke, ready to greet her daughter with a warm smile despite her own exhaustion. Lily, time to get up, Emily called gently, ruffling her daughter's hair. Lily, still half asleep, gave a small yawn before hopping out of bed. Their morning routine was well-rehearsed: breakfast, getting dressed, and the quick scramble to catch the bus. Emily couldn't help but feel a pang of guilt each time Lily asked why she seemed so tired or why they couldn't spend more time together. As Emily dropped Lily off at school, she lingered by the entrance, watching her daughter join the stream of children heading inside. The sight of Lily's bright smile and eager chatter filled Emily with both pride and worry. She wanted to be there for every milestone, every triumph, and every heartbreak. but her demanding job often kept her away longer than she'd like. Meanwhile, Nathaniel sat in his parked car, staring out the window at the school. Memories of simpler times with Emily flooded his mind. Morning walks, shared lunches, and the dreams they once held together. His current life with Sarah felt hollow in comparison. The spark they once had now reduced to routine and complacency. He glanced at his phone, contemplating whether to reach out to Sarah about Emily and Lily. The thought of disrupting his current relationship weighed heavily on him, but the longing to reconnect with his past was undeniable. Nathaniel had always prided himself on being a dependable partner, but lately, he felt disconnected from his own emotions. As he drove to work, Nathaniel's mind wandered to the conversation he had just had with Emily. The revelation of Lily's existence was both exhilarating and terrifying. He thought about the late nights Emily must endure, the sacrifices she made to provide for their daughter. The realization of what he had missed ignited a deep sense of responsibility within him. At his office, Nathaniel found himself distracted by thoughts of Emily and Lily. His manager, Mr. Thompson, noticed his lack of focus. "Nathaniel, everything all right? You seem a bit off today." He forced a smile. "Just a lot on my mind, Mr. Thompson. I'll be fine." Nathaniel nodded and retreated to his desk, trying to shake off the lingering emotions. However, the more he attempted to focus on his work, the more his thoughts drifted back to Emily and the possibility of being a father. Later that evening, Emily returned home, exhausted but determined. She sank onto the couch, taking a moment to breathe before attending to Lily's homework. The house was quiet, the only sounds being the scratching of pencils and the occasional giggle from Lily. "Lily, how was your day?" Emily asked, looking up from her book. "It was good, Mommy. We had a science project today. I built a volcano," Lily exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. Emily smiled, her heart swelling with love. "That's wonderful, sweetie. Maybe we can build one together this weekend." As she watched Lily immerse herself in her studies, Emily couldn't help but reflect on her own journey. Raising Lily alone had been challenging, but it had also brought unexpected moments of joy and strength she never knew she possessed. Yet, the longing for a partner to share in those moments remained. In Nathaniel's apartment, Sarah sat on the couch, flipping through channels aimlessly. Nathaniel entered, visibly tired but trying to mask it with a smile. "Long day?" Sarah asked, concern etched on her face. Nathaniel nodded, sinking into the armrest beside her. "Yeah, work was hectic. Lots of deadlines." Sarah reached out, taking his hand. "You've been stressed lately. Maybe we should take a weekend trip or something to relax." He sighed, squeezing her hand gently. "I don't know, Sarah. There's something I need to sort out first." Her eyes searched his, filled with worry. "What is it, Nathaniel? You know you can talk to me." He hesitated, the weight of his secret pressing down on him. "It's complicated. I'll tell you when I'm ready." Sarah nodded, respecting his silence but feeling a growing distance between them. Nathaniel could sense her frustration and sadness, but he wasn't ready to confront the turmoil within himself. Back at home, Emily tucked Lily into bed, kissing her forehead. "Good night, my love. Sweet dreams." "Good night, Mommy," Lily replied, her eyes already closing in sleep. Emily sat by Lily's side for a moment, watching her breathe peacefully. She thought about Nathaniel and the potential of introducing him into Lily's life. The idea was both hopeful and daunting. Could he find his way back to them? Would Lily accept him after all these years? Determined to take the first step, Emily reached for her phone and sent a quick message to Nathaniel, suggesting they meet again to discuss how he could become a part of Lily's life. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but the hope of rebuilding their family was worth the uncertainty. As she turned off the lights, Emily felt a sense of resolve. The path ahead was unclear, but for Lily's sake, she was ready to face whatever challenges came their way. Little did she know, Nathaniel was already taking steps to bridge the gap between their past and their future. The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the hospital parking lot as Nathaniel and Emily drove in silence. The conversation they had shared over the past weeks had brought them closer, but today, an unexpected twist threatened to unravel their fragile progress. Emily had received a call from the school nurse. Lily had fallen seriously ill, and they needed to come to the hospital immediately. Emily's grip tightened on the steering wheel, her knuckles turning white. Nathaniel reached out, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We're going to get through this together," he said softly, his voice steady despite the turmoil he felt inside. Inside the hospital, the waiting room was a cacophony of anxious voices and the beeping of machines. Emily and Nathaniel found seats side by side, their earlier resolve now tested by the sudden crisis. Emily's eyes never left the entrance, every sound causing her heart to race with fear. Minutes felt like hours as they awaited news about Lily's condition. Emily glanced at Nathaniel, searching for any sign of doubt or hesitation. Instead, she saw unwavering support and determination reflected in his eyes. It was a stark contrast to the uncertainty that had plagued her since their reunion. A nurse approached them, her expression a mix of professionalism and empathy. "Mr. Miller and Ms. Johnson? Lily is stable for now, but she needs to undergo further tests. We'll keep you updated." Emily exhaled a breath she didn't realize she'd been holding, sinking back into her seat. Nathaniel squeezed her hand gently. "She's strong, Emily. Lily is a fighter." As they waited, Emily's mind raced with memories of raising Lily alone. Late nights, the countless doctor's appointments, and the moments of pure joy that made it all worthwhile. Nathaniel, on the other hand, grappled with feelings he had long suppressed. Seeing Emily in such a vulnerable state reignited his desire to be more than just a presence in Lily's life. "Do you think she'll be okay?" Nathaniel asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Emily looked at him, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I don't know, Nat, but I have to stay strong for her." The weight of responsibility pressed down on both of them. Emily had always been the pillar of strength, but today, she felt her resolve waver. Nathaniel, witnessing her struggle, felt a surge of protectiveness he hadn't anticipated. As the hours dragged on, the initial fear began to subside, replaced by a cautious optimism. The nurse returned with updates, informing them that Lily's condition was stable and that she would need to stay in the hospital for observation. Relieved but still anxious, Emily and Nathaniel found themselves navigating the complexities of their renewed relationship amidst the uncertainty of Lily's health. During a quiet moment, Nathaniel turned to Emily. "I know this isn't easy, and I can't imagine what you're going through, but I want you to know that I'm here for both of you, no matter what." Emily nodded, her eyes meeting his with a mix of gratitude and vulnerability. "Thank you, Nathaniel. It means more to me than you know." As evening approached, the hospital's fluorescent lights dimmed slightly, creating a more subdued atmosphere. Emily and Nathaniel sat close, offering silent support to one another. The crisis had stripped away any remaining barriers, revealing the depth of their commitment to rebuilding their lives together. When the doctor finally gave the all-clear, Emily felt a wave of relief wash over her. Lily was going to be okay, and with that news came a renewed sense of hope. As they prepared to leave the hospital, Nathaniel felt a newfound determination solidify within him. This experience had not only tested their resilience but had also strengthened the bond they were striving to create. Walking out into the cool evening air, Emily glanced at Nathaniel, a soft smile playing on her lips. "Thank you for being here," she whispered. Nathaniel smiled back, feeling a sense of purpose he hadn't felt in years. "Always, Emily. We're in this together." As they drove home, the events of the day lingered in their minds. They had faced a significant challenge, and in doing so, had taken another step toward healing the wounds of the past. The journey ahead was still uncertain, but with each shared experience, Nathaniel and Emily were building a foundation rooted in understanding, support, and a mutual desire to create a loving environment for Lily. The days following Lily's hospital stay brought a blend of relief and new challenges for Nathaniel and Emily. With Lily's health stabilized, both parents felt a renewed sense of purpose in their mission to co-parent effectively. They decided to meet at a serene park near Emily's apartment, a neutral ground that provided a peaceful setting for their important conversation. Under the shade of a large oak tree, they settled onto a bench, the sounds of children playing and birds chirping creating a comforting backdrop. Nathaniel took a deep breath, feeling the weight of responsibility and the hope that came with it. "I think we should talk about how we can co-parent Lily," Nathaniel began, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "I've been thinking a lot about how to be there for her, and for both of us." Emily nodded, her eyes meeting his with a mixture of gratitude and apprehension. "I agree. It's been overwhelming, but I believe we can make this work for Lily's sake." They spent the next hour discussing the practicalities of their new arrangement. They agreed on a schedule that balanced their work commitments and ensured Lily had consistent support from both parents. Nathaniel suggested alternating weekends, allowing him to spend quality time with Lily without disrupting her routine. Emily appreciated the thoughtfulness behind his proposal and felt a sense of relief knowing that Lily would have his presence in her life. "We should also establish clear communication channels," Emily proposed. "Whether it's through a shared calendar or regular check-ins, it's important that we stay on the same page about her needs and activities." Nathaniel agreed wholeheartedly. "Absolutely. I want to be involved in every aspect of her life, from school events to doctor appointments. We need to work as a team." As they delved deeper into their plans, the conversation naturally shifted to their personal feelings and the rekindling of their relationship. Nathaniel took a moment to express his regrets about the past, feeling a surge of vulnerability. "I've missed so much, Emily. Not just the moments with you, but with Lily too." Emily reached out, placing her hand over his. "I've missed you too, Nat. It's been hard raising her alone, and having you here now. It's both comforting and daunting." Their honest exchange laid the foundation for a new beginning. They acknowledged the risks involved in reopening old wounds but recognized the potential for healing and growth. The mutual desire to create a supportive environment for Lily strengthened their resolve to move forward together. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden hue over the park, Nathaniel and Emily felt a sense of accomplishment. They had navigated a crucial step in their journey, setting the stage for a harmonious co-parenting relationship. The conversation had not only addressed the logistics of raising Lily, but also allowed them to reconnect on a deeper emotional level. Walking along the winding path, they shared lighter moments, reminiscing about their favorite memories and discussing future plans. Nathaniel suggested starting a weekend tradition, like building a model airplane together, to create new memories with Lily. Emily loved the idea, seeing it as an opportunity to bond as a family. Back at Emily's apartment, they met later that evening to finalize their co-parenting agreement. They sat side by side, reviewing the schedule and making adjustments to ensure it met both their needs and Lily's. The process was collaborative and respectful, reflecting their commitment to putting Lily first. As they concluded their meeting, Nathaniel looked at Emily with a renewed sense of hope. "I believe we can do this. For Lily and for ourselves." Emily smiled, feeling a warmth in her heart she hadn't experienced in years. "I believe so too. It's going to take time and effort, but I'm willing to try if you are." Nathaniel nodded, reaching out to take her hand. "We owe it to her to give this our best shot." In the weeks that followed, Nathaniel and Emily worked diligently to establish their co-parenting routine. They attended Lily's school events together, supported each other during challenging moments, and celebrated her achievements as a united front. The initial awkwardness began to fade, replaced by a growing sense of partnership and mutual respect. One Saturday morning, they decided to have a family outing to the local botanical gardens. Lily was excited, eager to explore the vibrant flowers and winding paths. As they walked hand in hand, Nathaniel and Emily felt a sense of normalcy returning to their lives. "Look at all these beautiful flowers," Lily exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. Nathaniel bent down to her level, smiling warmly. "Just like you, Lily, full of color and life." Emily watched the interaction, her heart swelling with love and pride. Seeing Nathaniel and Lily connect so effortlessly reassured her that they were on the right path. It was a small victory, but it symbolized the progress they had made as a family. Later that evening, as they sat together in Emily's living room, the conversation naturally turned to their personal aspirations. Nathaniel shared his desire to advance in his career, while Emily spoke about her passion for starting a community garden to provide fresh produce for local families. They found common ground in their dreams, realizing that supporting each other's goals would further strengthen their bond. "This is really happening," Nathaniel said softly, looking at Emily with admiration. "We're building something beautiful together." Emily nodded, feeling a sense of fulfillment. "Yes, we are. And it's all for Lily." As the days turned into weeks, the trio settled into a comfortable rhythm. Challenges still arose. Moments of tension, misunderstandings, and the occasional conflict, but they faced them with a united front. Their shared commitment to Lily's well-being served as a guiding light, helping them navigate the complexities of their new family dynamic. One evening, as they gathered around the dinner table, Lily shared stories from her day, her laughter filling the room. Nathaniel and Emily exchanged a glance, both feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. They had transformed their past struggles into a foundation for a hopeful future. "We're doing great, aren't we?" Nathaniel remarked, a hint of pride in his voice. Emily smiled, reaching across the table to squeeze his hand. "We are, and there's so much more to come." As they enjoyed their meal together, the bonds of family grew stronger, woven together by love, understanding, and the unwavering dedication to creating a nurturing environment for Lily. The journey was far from over, but with each passing day, they moved closer to the harmonious family they had always hoped to become. As Nathaniel and Emily settled into their new roles as co-parents, they discovered that building a harmonious family dynamic required patience, understanding, and unwavering commitment. The treehouse Nathaniel had built became a symbol of their progress, a tangible representation of their efforts to create a safe and joyful space for Lily. One sunny Saturday morning, the family decided to host a small gathering at Emily's apartment to celebrate the completion of the treehouse. Friends and family were invited, providing Lily with an opportunity to bond with extended loved ones and to see Nathaniel and Emily in their evolving roles. As guests arrived, laughter and conversation filled the air. Nathaniel moved effortlessly between groups, engaging with old friends and introducing Emily and Lily to new acquaintances. Emily, watching Nathaniel interact so naturally, felt a surge of pride. She saw the genuine effort he was putting into being present in their lives, and it reinforced her belief that they were on the right path. Lily, initially shy, gradually warmed up to the festivities. Nathaniel knelt beside her, showing her the intricate details of the treehouse's design. "Look, Lily, this is where you can have your tea parties or build your own little forts," he explained, his eyes twinkling with excitement. Emily joined them, placing a hand on Nathaniel's shoulder. "It's amazing how much you've done here, Nathaniel. Lily is going to love it." Nathaniel smiled, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. "I wanted to create something special for her, a place where we can all make memories together." As the afternoon progressed, a sense of normalcy began to settle over the trio. Conversations flowed effortlessly, and the initial nervousness faded away. Emily and Nathaniel found themselves sharing stories about their lives, discovering common interests and rekindling the connection they had once shared. Later that evening, as the last of the guests departed, Emily and Nathaniel sat together on the couch, reflecting on the day's events. "You know, today felt really good," Emily said softly, her eyes meeting Nathaniel's. "Seeing Lily so happy and seeing you so involved. It's everything I hoped for." Nathaniel reached out, taking her hand in his. "I agree. It's been a journey, but moments like today make it all worthwhile." Emily smiled, feeling a warmth spread through her. "I never thought we'd be here like this. It still feels surreal." Nathaniel squeezed her hand gently. "I know, but I'm grateful for every step we've taken together, for Lily and for us." As they sat in comfortable silence, the weight of their past struggles seemed to lift, replaced by a hopeful anticipation for the future. They had faced challenges that tested their resilience, but their shared commitment to co-parenting and rebuilding their relationship had brought them closer than ever. The following weeks saw Nathaniel and Emily continuing to strengthen their bond. They attended Lily's school events, supported each other through work-related stress, and found joy in the small moments of everyday life. Their relationship, once strained by distance and uncertainty, blossomed into a partnership built on mutual respect and love. One crisp autumn afternoon, Nathaniel surprised Emily with a picnic in the park. The leaves had turned vibrant shades of orange and red, creating a picturesque backdrop for their outing. As they spread out a blanket under a canopy of trees, Nathaniel handed Emily a small, wrapped box. "I wanted to give you something to commemorate how far we've come," he said, his voice filled with emotion. Emily opened the box to reveal a delicate necklace with a pendant shaped like a tree, a nod to the treehouse and the family they were building together. Tears welled up in her eyes as she looked up at Nathaniel. "It's beautiful. Thank you." He leaned in, gently brushing a tear from her cheek. "You deserve it. For everything you've done for Lily and for us." They spent the afternoon sharing their hopes and dreams, the necklace serving as a reminder of their journey and the love that had endured despite the odds. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the park, Nathaniel and Emily felt a profound sense of peace. Months passed, and their lives continued to intertwine seamlessly. Emily's community garden project flourished with Nathaniel's support, becoming a beacon of hope and sustenance for the local neighborhood. Nathaniel found fulfillment in his career advancements, now balanced by his role as a devoted father and partner. One winter evening, as snowflakes gently fell outside their window, Nathaniel and Emily sat by the fireplace with Lily, reflecting on their journey. "Lily," Nathaniel began, his voice warm, "we've been through a lot together, and I'm so proud of how you've handled everything." Lily looked up, her eyes shining with understanding. "I'm proud of us too. We're a family now." Emily reached out, enveloping both of them in a loving embrace. "Yes, we are. And no matter what comes our way, we'll face it together." The room was filled with the quiet strength of their united front, the challenges of the past serving as lessons that had only strengthened their bond. They had transformed their story from one of loss and uncertainty into one of resilience, love, and unwavering dedication to each other and their daughter. As they sat together, the flickering flames of the fireplace mirrored the warmth in their hearts. They knew that life would continue to present its share of challenges, but with each other by their side, they were ready to embrace whatever the future held. In the end, Nathaniel, Emily, and Lily had not only rebuilt their lives but had also discovered the true meaning of family, bound not just by blood, but by love, trust, and the courage to overcome every obstacle together.